Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what is going on? It is your boy, El Parcero Philly, the uniter of all things sports and culture here in the beautiful city of Philadelphia. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Flyers Checking In. As you guys can tell, I am running solo here today, as the Philly sports guy is currently on his way right now from Tampa Bay, Florida, as we got the ring light making an appearance here. That looks a little bit better here. That's right. Philly sports guy right now is heading back home right now. He was down in Tampa Bay for the Super Bowl festivities. You guys already know what it is with him when it comes to the NFL, when it comes to the football, when it comes to his Aggles. That's his number one call in there. So safe travels, everyone. Make sure you wish safe travels to the Philly sports guy. But for today, ladies and gentlemen, we're riding solo. Hey, let's get this started, guys. First off, I want to give everyone a little heads up of what's going on as we fix our hat. Make sure we got it nice and straight here. Everyone on YouTube, Twitter, what is going on? Welcome, everyone. And everyone on TikTok here next to me, what is going on? How is this going to work, guys? We're just going to break down what's going on with the Flyers, the week that was, the week that is, or the week that might not be for the Philadelphia Flyers. Guys, at any time you want to send in some questions, definitely send in some questions here. And let's get this party started. We'll answer some questions. We're going to do this together, ladies and gentlemen, together. So that's right. Everyone on TikTok, definitely send them over, and we will talk about it. But, of course, like we just talked about with the Super Bowl and the Philly sports guy, I want to take a quick second to congratulate the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on winning their second Super Bowl in franchise history. Of course, the GOAT, Tom Brady, wins his 7th Super Bowl in his career. It is absolutely incredible what Tommy Boy really has been on right now as of late. It's truly incredible. And I think he puts himself in the category of the best of all time in all sports. You're talking about the quarterback position being the most important position in football. And he truly and honestly is the standard of excellence when it comes to sports in general. So definitely want to give those guys some congratulations. Tampa Bay right now, it's a city of championships. Obviously the Lightning won here in our sport here in the bubble last year in the NHL Stanley Cup Finals. Obviously the Tampa Bay Rays made a World Series appearance last year but couldn't get the job done. So Tampa Bay, believe it or not, crazy to think, but they are one of the golden standards right now of winning in American sports. But I kind of, on the theme of the Super Bowl, I kind of want to talk about so right now in the NFL, what I'm noticing is something that I've seen in the NBA over the last decade or so. So the NBA, as we all know, it's something that turns off a lot of people from the league. The fact of the matter is that teams don't always care for the superstar building teams. You see the big three that's going on in the NBA, and that kind of is going on in the NFL right now. You saw the Bucks, what they did with Tom Brady. They brought on Rob Gronkowski, Leonard Fournette. I think Adam Kansu, the list goes on. The way the Bucks built it was very NBA like, right? So my question, obviously, I want to bring up and kind of talk about here today. Is it will we see this model get turned over here in the NHL? It's a legitimate question here that we have to talk about. So my pointing is, will superstars decide their destiny? Will superstars come together and say, hey, I want to go play in Montreal and let's go win a championship, right? Well, we kind of have seen that a little bit with the Toronto Maple Leafs over the past couple of years. Toronto, as you guys all know, one of the most snake-bitten franchises in American sports. They have Austin Matthews right now. Of course, John Tavares went to Toronto, which definitely rubbed a couple people the wrong way. But look, when it comes to the NHL, I think the difference is that the NBA and the NFL really have a lot of money flowing through it. These teams have an excessive amount of money to spend on these players. So in the NHL, there really isn't that money to be spent. And unfortunately, the NHL right now is the fourth in the tier of sports in America. And I don't know if the NHL will ever get to the top two, just the way that it is set up. Financially, it's not a sport that many kids play growing up, but that's a topic for another story. But to me, to win a Stanley Cup, you need to draft. You need to build the team through the draft. You're seeing these teams, even the past couple of years, you got Tampa, Dallas, last year's Stanley Cup. 2 years ago, St. Louis and Boston, Washington and Vegas, which Vegas I think is an exception because that was just like that was a great story. They call it lightning in a bottle in their expansion year. It was truly incredible. I don't think we'll ever see that again. Obviously, then you had Pittsburgh, Nashville, Pittsburgh, and San Jose. So when I look at those the last five Stanley Cups, other than Vegas, all these teams really built through their draft. Their core comes from the draft, and these teams were able to just add a couple pieces, and that is why they either won the Stanley Cup or at least made it, right? That's what we're trying to do here in Philly. So when you're looking at the Flyers, I think that the Flyers are in a great situation right now. This team has built through the draft. You got a great combination of some great veteran players, your Claude Giroux, your Kevin Hayes, Jakub Voracek's, JVRs, and you got some youngsters. Might not be playing so well right now, but you still got TK here. We still got Farabee, Nolan Patrick, and so on and so forth. So I think that this Flyers team is set up to win a championship. Obviously, things have to fall in place. And of course, you still, in order to win a championship in the NHL, I do think you need that hot goal. You need that goalie to catch some fire at the end of the season. And I think that the Flyers have that. So we will wait and see what can happen. But again, congratulations to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I don't think we'll see super teams in the NHL going forward. But it is definitely something fun to talk about. And obviously, I'm all about, and the Philly Sports guys, we're all about talking about interesting topics in our sport. Good stuff there. All right, well, let's get to it, guys. Right, so let's get into talking about the Philadelphia Flyers and the week that was here. Now, when I think about the Flyers this time last week, I felt a little bit better. The Flyers are coming off a 4-game winning streak, sweeping the Devils, sweeping the Islanders. Still some of the same mistakes that we have seen early on the season. But, you got 4 wins, right? And then you talked about going into this week when you have Boston again, right? The Boston series, and you had the Washington series going into this week here. Now, let's start off. We had 3 games this week to talk about. So let's start off with the Boston Bruins game on Wednesday night. We were on Wednesday Night Hockey. It was interesting to see the Flyers on NBC, the actual NBC, not NBC Philly, but NBC Sports, NBC 10. We were on primetime NHL hockey. Mike Tirico calling NHL games. I was not used to. I'm used to Tirico and John Gruden on Monday Night Football on ESPN. It was definitely interesting to see, but Tirico did his thing. I thoroughly enjoyed it. We obviously got to see the debut of the reverse retro jerseys. That was really cool to see as well. But at the end of the day, this would be another one of those games where you're just like, what the F, right? So the Flyers, right off the bat, the Bruins welcome back David Pastrnak. The top line was back, probably the best line in the NHL with Pastrnak, Bergeron, and Brad Marchand. And right in the opening seconds, the opening seconds, David Pastrnak takes that puck, makes one move on Gustafsson, and he banks the puck. And right off the bat, we're like 20 seconds into this game, and it's 1-0 Boston. And you're just thinking to yourself, after the game that Carter Hart had before that in Boston, he's 6 goals. He's breaking his twig over the net, and then you allow a goal right off the bat. You're just like sitting there to yourself, really, this is what's about to happen. But then the Flyers turn it around. They get into it. They get more physical. Shout to Nicholas Ubek-Kubel. I'm going to talk about him a lot this week because he, to me, honestly, was a key guy this week. We really have been missing an enforcer on this Flyers team. We miss someone who brings that physicality, as we're having some technical difficulties I can see here on – we're connected to the right internet. Okay. Sorry about that, guys, on YouTube and Twitter. We'll keep an eye on the internet situation here, but this usually does not happen, ladies and gentlemen. I am on Wi-Fi. Thank you very much. But let's get back into it, guys. So Nicholas Ubek-Kubel, he's implementing his physicality. We'll get to him in the next game, but you get 2 goals in the second period, one by Kevin Hayes, a nice little snipe. Tuukka Rask can't handle it, and then you get a nice goal from Jakub Voracek. He was able to just sneak around the back of the net, and he was able to find the puck and put it in the back of the net. And then in the third period, early on, you get a goal from Joel Farabee with a nice little snipe. And shout out to Joel Farabee. Joel Farabee's had a pretty solid season thus far with Philadelphia Flyers. He really has taken that next step into his development here for the Flyers. And then this is where things started to collapse. Near the end of the third period, you had two terrible penalties. It were a little soft. They were a little soft calls, but at the end of the day, you can't put yourself in these situations if you're the Philadelphia Flyers. So Kevin Hayes gets put in the box first, and the Boston power play gets on there. They get a goal, right? Pasternak gets his second goal. Oh God! And then at the end of the game, you have about a minute left. Boston gets the empty netter. You got 6-on-5 advantage, and again, Pasternak gets the game tying goal, and he gets his hat trick. So Pasternak, alone Pasternak beats you. It will ties this game up with this hat trick, and then right before the end of regulation, Scotty Lawton gives Boston another power play opportunity. So we had a couple seconds left in the end of the third on that Boston power play. Then we go into overtime, and Boston has the man advantage going into overtime, a 4-on-3 advantage. And yeah, we did it. We collapsed. Patrice Bergeron and I believe it was Brad Marchand were able to crash on that to Carter Hart, and they get that. Patrice gets a puck right below Carter Hart's 5-hole, and that was the difference as the Philadelphia Flyers collapse on Wednesday night, losing 4-3 to the Boston Bruins. And you're just like sitting here like saying like, what the heck? Like, we had a 3-1 lead in the third period, and you collapsed again. The first game against Boston, you had a 2-0 lead heading into the third period, and you allow them to score 4 goals in one period and lose the game. And then the same thing happens on Wednesday night. You allow Boston to come back. You're up 3-1. They tie the game, and you lose into overtime. That is definitely a heart wrencher. Definitely 100%. That was a heart wrencher, guys. But listen, this is the NHL. You flip the page, you turn the page, and you move forward. So Friday night, same team, Boston and Philly meeting up in Philadelphia and South Philly. This game would be a little bit different. This loss on Friday night was probably the hardest loss to digest. Through the first 2 periods, I felt like the Flyers were the better team. They finally played the best defensive game I've seen them play all season long. The defense was much improved as a whole unit. The top line, Pasternak, Bergeron, and Brad Marchand were not able to kill you the same way that they did on Wednesday night. Pasternak, I think, had 1 shot. They did a great job of shutting him down. They did not give him anything on that night. Solid first 2 periods. Nicolas Aube-Kubel got in a fight. It was very chippy. It was very back and forth. This is Boston. They are going to come every time you play Boston. You know it's going to be an outright physical battle. You better be ready to put them hands up. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what Boston does. And this is how Boston has been beating us. It's like Boston, what they do is they allow Philly to just outwork themselves. And then right at the perfect moment, boom, they pounce right on you. That's what happened on Friday night as well. 27 seconds into that third period, JVR gets the goal. And it was, again, another one of those. Gustafsson get from the point, rips it, and JVR deflects it, and you get the 1-0 lead. And then 8 minutes later, oh my God, the freaking collapse of all collapses. Brad Marchand was able to just dive into the blue paint and poke a puck that just deflects right off of Provorov's stick and gets in that. You get the 1-0 there, and then a couple minutes later, Coolray takes a risk near the blue line, and that was it. Boston gets a 2-1 lead, and there was literally absolutely nothing we could have done after that as the Philadelphia Flyers fall again to the Boston Bruins. This time 2-1, another blown lead. It's just like it's tough, and the reason why this is the worst loss of them all, because you had the lead. Like, it's not like no, I'm sorry. It's not that we had the lead. It's that we played the best I seen us play against Boston, and we just wound up blowing the lead. And when you play a great defensive game like the defense this season deserves every single bit of criticism that we have been giving them this year. But in that game, truly and honestly, I believe that we were the better team. And it literally took a matter of 27 seconds for us to just blow it. Like I can't make this stuff up. And I don't know what it is. Like we have like some sort of like mental block when it comes to the Boston Bruins, but we are going to have four more opportunities to play this Boston Bruins team. And we know what it is when it comes to Boston. You got to be aware of that top line with Pasternak and Bergeron and Marchand. And you got to match the physicality, but you also have to play 3 periods. We talked about this with the New York Islanders series, and we talk about this here against Boston. I think the thing with the Islanders is they don't have the same offensive power that Boston has, but the physicality is truly there. They play this mental game with you, and we have to be able to find a way to beat those teams. Now, obviously, a lot of people want to think, and I listen. I do agree. Excuse me. If we were to have Sean Couturier in that Boston series, what would it have been like? Because obviously, when we talk about Coots, there is a reason why he's one of the best two-way centermen in the National Hockey League. The guy is one of the most skillful centers, but also my man ain't scared to come back and play a little defense and smack you in the mouth. So we definitely were missing Coots' just his ability in this series here. It's still not an excuse. And still, this Flyers team is capable of playing good defense. They proved it to you on Friday night. That was the best defensive game I've seen the Flyers play all season long. So all they had to do was just take some of those positives and keep it moving forward. So the next opponent, the next series that we had was going up against the Washington Capitals. And when it comes to the Caps, it's like very back and forth when it comes to those guys, right? So we always seem to just it's never one team dominating another, but it always is tricky because obviously when we're thinking about the Washington Capitals, it's Ovi, right? It's Backstrom, TJ Oshie, Tom Wilson, right? And in this game on Sunday, first off, the Super Bowl appetizer, a little midday hockey, had to get up, had to get that coffee going, and watch that little midday hockey before the Super Bowl festivities were about to start. I think this is the problem here. All right, we're good here now. But yeah, so going into this game, obviously, when you're talking about the Capitals, you worry about Alexander Ovechkin and this power play unit that they have. It's almost automatic all the time, especially when you have Ovi, one of the best snipers in National Hockey League of all damn time. So what's up, Twitter? What's up, TikTok? How's everyone doing over there? We got some people on there. So this game started off again. Well, this game actually started a little different than what we have seen. We saw the Caps go up early 2-0. Ov on the power play with a crazy snipe. He literally kind of snuck into the zone, and the Flyers lost track of him, and he was able to just find that open pocket and to just rip one right past Carter Hart. And then on the second goal, Ovi again with working it on Philippe Myers. Philippe literally couldn't do anything. He wraps the puck around Philippe, and he was able to find Tom Wilson, who put it in the back of the net. And that you go up, they went up 2-0 before the end of the first period. Scotty Lawtz, who had a huge game, a lot of big games. We're going to talk about in a second here. Scotty Lawton was able to get this 2-1 goal there. Then in the start of the second period, Scotty Lawton again would get a goal, a nice little snipe from the side of the net, or a nice little assist from JVR to go up 2-2. And then we saw Alexander Ovechkin from the top of the key again snipe a puck from near the blue line. And you're just like, oh, holy crap. Ovi's going to have one of those games. He already has 2 goals and an assist, and you're just sitting there thinking like, oh, my God, is Ovi about to be Ovi yet again, right? And then after that, Robert Haig showing us his offensive skill. It's crazy because Robert Haig, we need him to be the defenseman, defender that we need. Like, we have too many skillful defensemen. Crazy as that sounds, when you talk about Flyers history, too many skillful defensemen. But but Haig actually has an offensive game, and he was able to get a nice little goal. It was a nice little pass back from Sean Couturier. Michael Raffle with a great little screen as he showed us his hops. So Raffle got some hops on them skates, so he's able to just jump up, screen a little bit, and Haig with the little wrister was able to get in the back of the net. Following that, James Van Riemsdyk was able to find a rolling puck that was rolling into the zone, and those rolling pucks are so hard for goalies to stop. JVR had the pinpoint accuracy to just hit that top right corner, and he found the back of the net. And at that point, the Flyers got the lead back 4-3. And Backstrom, after that, the second period was nuts. You're talking about 5 goals in total. Backstrom would get another assist from Ovechkin. He would do a little spinorama on Carter Hart, and he would just slide that bad boy in the back through the 5-hole of Carter Hart, and now you're tied 4-4, and the Flyers would not allow the Caps to see the lead again. In the start of the third period, Coots would get a rebound and put that in the back of the net. Scotty Lotz would add to his hat trick. Scotty Lotz's first hat trick of the season. And then Sean Couturier would put the empty netter away. And the Philadelphia Flyers put a 7-burger on the Washington Capitals. It was a crazy, crazy game. And look, at the end of the day, we're talking about this game here. My God, we truly and honestly were missing Sean Couturier. You can just see the difference night and day when Coots is out there. He is a leader for a reason on this team. And we really missed him. And it was great seeing him coming back. And he was a really big component of why we won this game. Hydration break. But it was interesting because, you're wondering, with Coots coming back, what would this lineup look like, right? And unfortunately, Connor Bunnaman would be the guy to fall as Coots got put into that fourth line. And that fourth line, it's now you had Coots with Ube Kubel. Man, you do not want to mess with that fourth line. You got Coots and Ube Kubel. Obviously, I think that Vigneault is gonna move these lines around a little bit. But, you add back Coots, you get back so much depth. And in that power play kill as well. However, in this game, the Caps only had one opportunity on the power play, and it was just a miscue by the Flyers to allow Ovi to have that much space to get the goal. But this was a big win. Lotz gets his hat trick. JVR, another big game. JVR has been clutch. He's on a point streak right now. I believe we're now up to 7 games. He's had points in at least. But it's truly not. It's we need this JVR here. JVR and Voracek. It's crazy. Before the season, we talked about how we need those two to step it up. We need those guys to be able to contribute because they kind of got lost in the playoffs last year. But thus far, those guys really have been big this season. Same thing with Lotz. Lotz kind of got lost, but I think as of late over the last week or two, obviously, Wednesday night was just a what the F moment, but I really have been impressed with what Lotz has done. This upcoming week, I really need to see Nolan Patrick and TK step it up. TK has been lost. I think we're at the point now where we're putting out the wanted signs. What happened to Travis Konechny? He's really been lost right now. I think for him, this happens in every sport. Athletes go through duds. Athletes go through slumps. I think that TK is in that situation right now. He needs to find a way, however, though, to just get out of it. And I think that once he gets that first goal to get out of that slide, he's going to be fine. He's definitely going to be fine. And Nolan Patrick the same way. That's why I think, Vigneault has really been switching up the top two lines. The third line and the fourth line has really stayed the same. With Coots returning, he did stick with that same third line of Lotz, JVR, Lotz, and Joel Farabee. But obviously the fourth line, nothing changed except that, he substituted substituted Coots for Bunyamin, but those top two lines, and it's crazy thing. I guess it's not a big problem if your third and your fourth lines are contributing the way it is, but you need more from your top two lines, and that's really what we're gonna be looking for this week. Kevin, the top line on Sunday, you had Kevin Hayes, Claude Giroux, Kevin Hayes at TK. Then you had Lindblom, Nolan Patrick, and Jakub Voracek. I am not worried about Lindblom. I think that again, we're talking about someone who went through something that most athletes don't go through. Coming back from cancer, missing most of the season. It's going to take a while for him to get back to the form that we saw him at before, he was diagnosed with this cancer. So I think we'll just give it some time with him. I think he will be fine. Nolan Patrick, that's tough. It's definitely tough. We even saw him getting put into the power play unit as well. I don't know if we should continue seeing that. But Vigneault's been trying different things with the power play. We even saw two defensemen up top that no, don't want to see that again. No. But let's wait. Hold on. Let me see here. Oh, we can't even get that up. But So when it comes to the Flyers this past week, look, the Boston series, it is what it is, right? Losing to Boston the way you did, same way, back-to-back collapse. It's kind of a block right now. But the good news is that you're going to have 4 more opportunities to face off against the Boston Bruins. And like I said, I will not be mad if we get swept by the Boston Bruins in the regular season and we beat them in the playoffs. I'm not worried about that. But I do think that I do get worried when the Flyers allow late collapses like they have against the Boston Bruins. There's 3 collapses against the Boston Bruins. In the series against the Islanders, you collapse in both of those games, right? So that's 5 total collapses. So we need to just play full games. And I feel like the Flyers at times, but we didn't see this on Sundays, but I do think at times they go so hard for 3 periods and then they just run out of gas. And that's when you see teams take advantage of that. The goaltending this week, Carter Hart, obviously this year has not been crisp and as pristine as we usually see Carter Hart. And a lot has to do with the way the defense has been playing this year. But I'm not worried about Carter Hart. It's a long season. It's going to take some time. But I have full confidence in him. When it comes to Brian Elliott, in that Wednesday night game that he did play, Friday night game that he did play, that second goal he allowed, usually he would stop that. But the thing is that it was his fault, but I can't fault Brian Elliott too much. Brian Elliott has been giving us great performances as a backup goalie, and he's been great in the development of Mr. Carter Hart as well. So once his defense gets better, and of course Coots is back here, we should see some better goaltending play here. Philippe Myers, what I believe is in COVID protocol, if I am not mistaken here. I did see something earlier today. The big news today, actually, let's get to that in a second. So this week, we're looking ahead. We got to finish this Capital Series tomorrow night, 6 o'clock puck drop. We got a Philly sports doubleheader. We've had way too many of these Philly sports doubleheaders. Got some great questions here on what's going on TikTok. How's everyone doing? Reynald Rivera, what's going on, my guy? Hey, we got Josh McDonald, great Flyers fan. How we feeling over there, guys? Yeah, we got a little, I think it's because of these guys. Let me know, guys, if you still hear an echo here. I forgot to put my AirPods away, and that's probably why we have an echo. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, guys. Appreciate the love. What's up, Vlad? How's it going? Vlad, my day's going great right now, man. We're doing a little Flyers checking in, giving the fans what they need over here. Reynald Rivera, what's going on? What's going on? McKay56, do you do shows including the other Philly sports? Love my Flyers, but I'm starting to watch more. Yes, I do. So during the season, during the NFL season, Philly Sports Guy and myself, we do Burge Breakdown. So stay tuned for that for next Eagles season. I'm sure once we get closer to the draft, we'll start doing some episodes with Burge breaking down. Me personally, I do cover the Philadelphia Union for Philly Sports Network. So we have a podcast, Duke by the River, which I run as well, one of the co-host of that, and also my YouTube. My YouTube's filled with Philly sports videos. So, guys, if everyone wants to go to my YouTube channel at El Parcero Philly, over here you can head to my bio, and of course, if you are here on Twitter, you can definitely head to my Twitter account. I have my YouTube channel linked to that. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube Live, definitely go check out some of my other stuff there. We do post Philly sports content every single freaking day. So let's get back to it, guys. So this week we got the Washington Capitals tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. Philly sports doubleheader. Flyers at 6, Sixers at 10 o'clock, as the Sixers are on a Western Conference road trip. So tomorrow night, what I'm looking for is more of this. I want some more physicality. The Caps they don't have their strongest team yet. They're missing some key players. But if we do get on the power play kill, that is where I want to see how we do. Because obviously the Caps power play kill is pretty damn lethal. So I want to continue seeing us being able to stop that. Alexander Ovechkin, there's only so much you can do with him. So definitely want to see how this defense plays. Because I think that another thing that we did well on Sunday afternoon was just a defensive transition, like from defense to offense. They were busy on the neutral zone. The forecheck play as well has not been talked about enough, but that forecheck for the Flyers has definitely gotten better. And now with Coots back, we get a little physical edge, and I'm absolutely loving it. Loving it. So that's on Tuesday, 6 o'clock, and enjoy that game, guys. Enjoy the Tuesday night game, because that is the only Flyers game we are going to get this week. If you guys haven't heard yet, the Philadelphia Flyers are only playing on Tuesday night this week because the New Jersey Devils, who was our next opponent, had too many COVID cases, 16 COVID cases to be exact, so they have to postpone their games. So that means our Thursday matchup against the Devils and our Saturday matchup against the Devils at home at the Wells Fargo Center will be postponed. The dates will be announced later on. Excuse me. Of course, myself and the Philly Sports Guy will keep you up to date. We'll talk about it on next week's Flyers checking in. But this week is going to be a light week for the Philadelphia Flyers, with the Devils postponing those games. So it sucks. It really does suck because, as a fan and as the Flyers, it sucks. As a fan, it sucks because obviously you were not going to be able to watch Flyers hockey this week, only tomorrow night with the Caps. So that's why I'm telling you guys, enjoy tomorrow night's game, win or lose. But it also sucks for the players because now you play tomorrow, and now you have to wait a whole entire week for your team to get back into it. So if I'm going to look it up here, I probably should have brought it up to begin with. But let me look at the schedule to see who it is we will play after the New Jersey Devils series here. So obviously tomorrow at 6, we got the Caps, then these Saturday, Sunday games. Okay, so the next time, so my mistake here. So the next time we'll see the Flyers will be on Sunday. We start off a series with the New York Rangers. We're gonna be up at the Madison Square Garden. Listen, the Rangers is a team I also hate. I definitely despise the New York Rangers, so that should be a lot of fun to watch as well. So after tomorrow, we're gonna have like about 5-day break, but that to me is too long of a wait. You don't want your guys sitting too long. So for the Flyers, they're going to get about 5 days of rest here, and hopefully Vigneault can keep these guys fresh, keep these guys into it, because that is a long time that they're not going to be playing here. But hopefully, we get who are we missing? Philippe Myers. Hopefully he can come back. I have to think off the top of my head. I think Ghost was fine there. But yeah, so should be an interesting week. Should be a lot of fun, guys. Guys, we got any? No, we got no questions here today. All right, guys. Well, hey, listen. So next time we speak, of course, the Philly Sports Guy will be back here. It was a crazy week for the Flyers. Losing back to the Boston Bruins the way you did, blowing those leads. These are all learning experiences, guys. And I'm telling you, the Flyers are going to come back. We're going to be much, much better. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. Tomorrow, I think we'll sweep the Caps. I do think we will sweep the Caps. I think if we play like we did on Sunday, there's no reason why we shouldn't get the win tomorrow night. It should be great. We'll see what Vigneault does here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Usually we will have longer games, but longer. There's one Angers player on the Flyers Rangers. I understand, Reynel Rivera. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but thank you for the question. Again, next time the Philly Sports Guy and I will be back. Make sure you guys check in every single week. We do Flyers checking in every Monday night, breaking down everything with the Philadelphia Flyers, myself and the Philly Sports Guy. Guys, make sure if you don't already, go follow me on Twitter at Parcero Philly, on IG at L_Parcero_Philly, and on TikTok as well at L Parcero Philly. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to wish the Philly Sports Guy a safe travel back. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm at Parcero Philly. And let's go Flyers. Yeah, baby. Talk to you soon. Thanks again, guys.